Hey guys, welcome to today's video. We're going to be breaking down Adetomiwa Adebawore's film in a quick little film session after a really good combine, kind of just breaking down what he brings to the table as the NFL draft comes closer and closer. Before we get started though, please drop a quick like and a sub on today's video. That would really help my channel grow. I'd really appreciate that. With that said, let's dive right into the video and I hope you enjoy. So you might not have heard about Adetomiwa Adebawore until a couple days ago when he absolutely lit up the NFL Combine. You know, for a guy that's 6'2", 280 pounds, he's quick. 4.49 40-yard dash. It's a sub 4.5, the fastest among defensive tackles in NFL Combine history. Also had a 37.5-inch vertical jump, which is also the combine record for defensive tackles in NFL Combine history, and an NFL Combine record broad jump with 10 feet, 5 inches for a defensive tackle. Once again, this guy is an athletic freak. That's just what he is. And he's kind of a bit of a tweener in the fact that, you know, he can play defensive tackle, he can play defensive end, he can kind of do a little bit of everything. We're going to break it all down in today's video, but just know he's an athletic freak. Let's dive right into the film session. Here we go. So Adebawore is one of the most versatile defensive tackle, defensive end guys in this draft class. I mean, he can play defensive end, he can play defensive tackle, as I mentioned earlier, but he's also a really good pass rusher and a good run blocker. In the past 2 seasons, he's had 9.5 sacks, 5 last season, 4.5 the year before. But also, you know, he's able to stuff the football to inside and outside. He's able to close the gaps out, just does a ton of things really well. Let's start with some pass rushing here. This is against Duke, second game of the year. Northwestern had a really bad season. They ended up 1-11, but Adebawore was one of the bright spots of that. So you're going to see him here on the top of the screen, just rushing on the outside, right? He's going to just try and get to the quarterback as fast as he can, and that's kind of his mentality. He doesn't have that many pass rushing moves. I think that there's a lot of polish that needs to come from his game, but at the end of the day, he likes to get to the quarterback, and he can get to the quarterback quickly. You're going to see it here. Once again, just puts his head down, quick move on the outside here, gets past his blocker, more or less just a swim move, just getting those arms engaged and getting around his blocker. Does a good job creating leverage with his arms. He's pretty long, and he's able to do that here, then breaks away from his defender and closes in on the quarterback. And there's, you see, the long reach there by Adebawore, just crashing down on the quarterback for the sack. And then the ball's out for a fumble. I'm going to show you another angle here just to show it to you a little bit better. You're going to see Adebawore right here. I mean, when you line him up against an undersized guy, tight end here, I mean, it's just going to be a mismatch. And you see just how well Adebawore disengages and the speed that he has to get past his blocker here. He's able to find the football, close in on the football, and then you see that closing speed and that closing instinct. And for so many guys, it's really hard, to realize that, hey, the ball's out and I have a chance to crash down on this football and create a fumble. But Adebawore has that game sense. He has that intelligence and that ability to come here and crash down on the football. Goes for the football too, as the Duke quarterback tries to throw this one. But this is just a really good play by Adebawore. The game sense is there, the instincts are there, and he's just a physical presence on the outside. On another note too, this is kind of a botch play by Maryland, but it still shows Adebawore's closing instincts. I think that's a really big, important thing that teams are going to look for when it comes to defensive linemen. They want to see if they have good football instincts, and Adebawore certainly does. So this is actually going to be an RPO kind of action here for Maryland. They're going to try and set up a run play, but if it's not there, they're going to throw the football. They're going to have this blocker here who originally was lined up as the right guard. He's going to come and swing around. And then you're going to have this guy here over here also come and swing around, and you're going to try and get this run play going this way. Anyway, turns out Maryland doesn't end up doing that just because of how quick Adebawore gets into the hole. So Billy Edwards basically is like, nope, Adebawore is here. I can't run this football. So instead, he pulls back the ball here, and now it's a passing play. And you can just see how quickly Adebawore gets to the football. I mean, in the time that Billy Edwards has been like, okay, it's not a run play, now we're going to look to throw the football, Adebawore is there. Billy Edwards feels the pressure, loses control of the football, is able to get on top of it. But just look at the closing speed of Adebawore. He's so quick off the line of scrimmage, especially if he's unblocked in this situation here, pretty much. And he's able to get through for the strips more or less, and forces Maryland into a negative play. That's just what Adebawore does. He forces negative plays for offenses because he's just everywhere, and he's always around the football. And this is another time that we've got Adebawore rushing the quarterback from the inside. As I said, he can play defensive end, he can play defensive tackle, he can kind of do it all because, 280 pounds and 6'2", he's not necessarily heavy enough or not necessarily built enough for like a nose tackle. I mean, that's not his game whatsoever. But I mean, at 280 pounds, he can definitely play that interior defensive line position. But he's got the speed and the athletic ability to get to the quarterback too. And at the same time, at 280, 6'2", and he has that length, he's able to play outside too and kind of play that edge role a little bit at the defensive end position too. So he's got a lot of fluidity in where you can line him up, and that's why he's going to be a hot commodity in the NFL draft, I think, as he's going to skyrocket up draft boards. But on this play here, he's rushing from the inside. You're going to see him right here. He's going to be trying to rush to the quarterback there. And Northwestern here on this play, they're going to run a little bit of a pick play in a way. And Adebawore is going to kind of come here, and then you've got this guy coming over the top. And what Adebawore does really well is he kind of freezes both of these defenders. Kind of freezes both of them. Kind of sets a pick like in basketball. And sometimes the best guy to throw the ball to in basketball after a pick is the guy who just set the pick. And it's similar in this situation here, where Adebawore ends up, really excelling because of the pick play that he runs. So here, Adebawore, right, kind of takes two guys, really much more or less bull rushes two guys, and he almost forces the guard and the right tackle to realize that there's another guy here. And as that split second of we have to also block this guy who's going to come over here, what happens? Adebawore is completely freed up as the tackle tries to come over, but also the guard's like, I have to come over too. And both of these guys come over, and what happens? Adebawore is free, and he comes right through, just beaming through, and is able to make the sack in the open field. This is once again just the pure bull rush, the pure power he's got, creates problems for offensive lines. He's tricky, he's sneaky, but he's got great closing speed, and that's his biggest asset. And although I like Adebawore a lot as a pass rusher, I arguably like him more as a run defender. And so, as someone who watched a lot of bad Northwestern football this year, the one bright spot defensively that I thought, outside of Cam Mitchell and some of the plays he had at cornerback, was Adebawore's ability to stop the run. And on this play here, you're going to see him on the outside, right, the defensive end position. And Ohio State's going to run just a pretty much simple running play, trying to get up the middle here on 3rd and 1. There's an option to go right here, but they've also got a blocker coming around to try and set it here. So if the running back needs to bounce outside, he can. So you've got Adebawore, as I said, being blocked on the outside. And he's going to initially get moved inside as all these Ohio State blocks kind of go this way to try and either set up this on a really short, just let's try and get a yard here, or a bounce to the outside. And what I love about Adebawore is maybe at the point of attack he doesn't necessarily win, but look at his strength. He's able to stay upright. He's got great leverage on his blocker and is able to simply just go with a nice little swim move, push the defender aside, and look at how he disengages from the block. And now it's just one-on-one, the runner and Adebawore. And what is Adebawore? He's going to win this every time. Adebawore is going to be able to trip up the runner. He falls down. That's a tackle for loss. Ohio State doesn't pick up the first down, and Northwestern retains the lead. And obviously Northwestern didn't end up winning this game, as this was only the first quarter. But, Adebawore's, Ohio State film, very, very solid as a run blocker in a game that was terrible conditions to throw the football in. A lot of rain, a lot of wind. Adebawore did a lot of good things in this game. So if you want to see a little bit more things in depth, I'd definitely watch some of the film from this game. But once again, in this play here, Adebawore just finding ways to get his hands on the football and finding ways to be around the football. And that's just that's kind of goes to his football instincts. Explosion off the line and winning at the point of attack are another things that make Adebawore really successful stopping the run. Here you're going to see him lined up inside, and this is going to be Purdue trying to run the ball out to the left side of the field here. You've got all these blocks coming up to the second level. You got this block here. All these blocks are going this way, and it's simply just going to be let's see where those blocks go. But what does Adebawore realize? He sees that, and he senses this. And this is the thing with Adebawore. When you try and initially double team him, or there's some movement where there's two guys around him, he is so good at finding ways to beat that. So in this play here, you're going to have actually the tight end try and come up to the second level to block the linebacker on this play. But Adebawore is just going to hold him up for a second, just the tiniest second, because he realizes that this entire play is going this way. So he's trying to beat him to the point of attack here. And as he tries to hold that blocker moving up to the second level, right, it creates a little bit of tension between the blocker who's actually on Adebawore, who Adebawore is completely blocked. You can just see the position here is, the blocker's going this way, and Adebawore has already beaten him to the point of attack, and he's already beaten him to the line of scrimmage. So you just see kind of that, a little bit of shuffle, and then as Purdue, moves the ball to the left here on the running play, you've just got Adebawore just closing the gap down, and just literally the straight line speed and strength there. That is what allows him to make this play. And there's definitely a hold there by the center here. But as the left guard and the center try and block here on this play, Adebawore is really just able, once again with the strength and the speed and that instinct, those three things combined really allow him to just get downhill in a hurry. And it goes really, really well for him here on this big loss of yards by Purdue. And this is going to be the last film clip, I guess, for this video. But you have Adebawore on a tight end trying to block him. And that's just historically, and it's not going to work. It's just a historically bad idea, right? Do not put a tight end on Adebawore, because he's going to beat the tight end 99 times out of 100. It's just that simple. The strength isn't there. The speed of a tight end, it's just not going to match up to the just the pure raw athletic ability of Adebawore. And you're going to see it right here. It's going to be another run play here, right? You're going to have this going here, you got this block here, and then you're going to have the running back move that way. That's the play design. But what does Adebawore do? Very smart football player, sees where these blockers are going, knows that where the blockers are going, I got to go here. And Adebawore gets downhill in a hurry, is able to close this gap. And just look at this closing line speed. I mean, look at what he's done to his blocker. Like, this blocker is completely, sure, at the point of attack, right, Adebawore knows the play's going here, and the blocker doesn't really meet up to him and doesn't really come out to block him, but he's always chasing the play. But look at how Adebawore literally just beats the blocker to the spot. Like, it's literally that simple. I mean, the blocker's completely on Adebawore's back. Like, he's completely lost the spot. It's almost like Adebawore knows the play, but the blocker doesn't know the play. And in this way, Adebawore does an awesome job closing the gap here, getting to the running back for the loss of yardage. And it's just, once again, it's those instincts. It's the speed, and those things combined make Adebawore so quick and so difficult to block. So coming into the combine, I would have said that Adebawore would have been probably a third round pick, maybe a late second round pick. Maybe could have seeped into the middle of the second round, but not really anything more than that. But then he goes to the combine. He has a ridiculous day, 4.49 40-yard dash. He's got a 37.5-inch vertical jump and a 10 foot 5 inch broad jump. All records for defensive tackles. And once again, is he really a defensive tackle? Is he really a defensive end? That's up to a little bit of where a team wants to play him. But the truth is he can play both. There's a lot of, comparisons being thrown around to Aaron Donald. And I don't know if that's fully necessarily going to be the truth. I'm not going to say Adetomiwa Adebawore is going to be the next Aaron Donald, but you got to look at the height and the weight and the speed in both of them, and some of their game. It's very comparable. Aaron Donald's 6'3", so like that's 6'1". Adebawore 6'2". Both are very similar weights, 285 versus 282. Similar length and similar just speed off the line of scrimmage, and in that way they kind of play in that similar idea. Also, Aaron Donald, great pass rusher. Adebawore definitely get to the quarterback. Those are kind of the comparisons being thrown around. I'm not saying that Adebawore is Aaron Donald. I'm not saying that he's going to be Aaron Donald, but I am going to say that he's a talented player, and I would not be surprised if he went late first round, high second round, just because of the numbers that he puts up in the combine. I mean, teams are going to want an athletic freak like Adebawore, who is one of the most athletic talents in this draft at any position on the board. I mean, how many times do you see a guy who's 282 running sub 4.5 who can, stop the run, can get to the quarterback in the passing game, but more importantly, has the positional versatility too, of a guy that can play inside, outside, rush the quarterback, stop the run. There's so many good things that Adetomiwa Adebawore does. I'm really excited to see where he ends up going, where he ends up falling, because a team in the range of 26 to 31, right, as there's only 31 first-round picks this year, I could see him fall there. I could see him go early second round, just because of those numbers that he's put up. I think he's a very exciting prospect, and he really gives Northwestern a shot of having 2 first-round draft picks in this upcoming draft, with obviously Peter Skoronski going to be a surefire top 15 pick, definitely, if not top 10 pick, and then obviously Adebawore, who's making a run here after an excellent combine. Super fun guy to watch, and it'll be interesting to see where he falls and where he fits in. I think he's a great scheme fit for a ton of teams just because of his positional versatility, and that's at the end of the day what teams want. They want positional versatility. They want athletic freaks on the defensive line, and Adetomiwa Adebawore absolutely fits that. And with that said, that's pretty much going to end the video for today. Did you agree with my analysis? Why or why not? Leave your comments and thoughts in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Also, if you're new around here, please drop a like and a sub on today's video. I'd really appreciate that. And with that said, I hope you enjoyed the video. And until next time, see ya.